I still have lucid dreams. They just are different variations of things that I've already posted on here. But I would really like to post my findings of becoming lucid in this waking life that you're experiencing this recording on, or this video on. This video is for you, but it's also a video for me to refer back to whenever I'm not being very lucid anymore, whenever I'm feeling depressed or anxious. Because when someone is depressed and anxious, it means that they're caught up in a plot. And I've mentioned in my lucid dreams that your dreams are a series of plots, and so is your waking life. It is a series of plots. What I want to talk about in this video is how to actually love yourself. People say all the time, treat yourself, love how you look. But they don't ever sit down and tell you the details step by step on how to go about accomplishing this. Loving yourself isn't buying yourself ice cream after a bad day, or buying yourself a certain gadget when you reach a certain goal at work or something because you feel like you deserve it. Think of a parent that doesn't spend time with their kids, but instead buys them off. The kids don't respect the parents and don't really know or love them as well as parents who listen to them, remember things that they've said, spent time with them and validated their feelings. Loving your kids is putting them first over others. Loving your kids means to set standards and boundaries for them. Loving your kid is accepting their flaws and not comparing them to others. So basically, you treat yourself the way you would treat your favorite, most precious child. Maybe you might want to set up little themes for certain weeks to practice everything. Like 1 week, you can set focus on what are boundaries, and what boundaries do you need to lay for people and situations that make you feel uncomfortable. Write out things that make you feel uncomfortable and let people know your new boundaries, and don't be embarrassed about it. Would you be embarrassed if you were sticking up for your child? Have the same mindset of, my child just came to me with this problem and asked me to fix it. Use that tone whenever you're addressing people about your boundaries. So after you set some boundaries with people, the next week, focus on remembering things that you've said. It's important for your parents to remember things that you've said. It's important for yourself to remember things that you've said. Try to remember and honor things from your childhood. Go back to your roots. What was your favorite color? Play. Play some video games. Play solitaire. Play the ping pong game on your computer. Draw. Sing. Sing in your car. Sing. Play karaoke. Dance. Dance in your house. Dance with someone. It's so funny how for so many years I was really depressed and I just randomly started playing this computer game, and it made me so happy, and I wondered why so many years I had stopped playing video games. It's because I got caught up in, I don't have time because I have to study for this. I don't have time because I have to do this. I don't have time. And now I love making time to just get on the computer and play this stupid game and talking to people. It just makes me so happy. The next week, focus on how you compare yourself to others. Do you feel like someone at your job has it really easy? Do you feel like someone gets a lot more attention than you, even though you do more for others? Do you wish you could stop doing something that you can't help? Think of yourself as your favorite child. Find a place to relax, meditate, and go find the child version of you. You'll be surprised that they still exist within you. Have the child walk up to the adult version of you. Invent about all these problems that you want them to be like that stresses them out. Look at what you were doing to this poor child. Apologize and tell that child, which is the child version of you, that you can't believe how hard you've been on them, and that you love them. Even hug them and dry their tears and promise that you will do better. Tell that child why you love them, and that no one is perfect, and that you accept them. Start listening to them. That inner child, I mean. When you meditate, call for that child and go through a bad memory. Change the memory. interrupt it and confront the child. The reason why eyewitness reports or testimonies are really crappy is because every time you remember a memory, it changes. So to rely on an eyewitness about a murder, it's completely useless. Their memory is crap. Your memory is crap. But use it for a good thing. Go back and remember a memory that has shaped a part of you that you would like to change or deal with. Go in, relive it, but relive it as a child, and then have the adult version of you come in and become the adult version and watch this child going through it, and then interrupt it, change it. Be the adult that you wish could have been there. Or tell the mom in the memory to tell this to the child. Or tell the other kid to stop bullying the child version of you. I know I can't talk very well this afternoon. You go in and you deal with it. You grab the child version of you by the hand, create a bench to sit on, and you talk to them, and you would just really be amazed at how delicate just such a simple exercise that you make with yourself can become, and how it heals you. Another important thing that I have learned from trying to be lucid in this life is remember that when someone says something about you, it is merely a reflection of them. It does not have to reflect you unless you identify with what they said. How do you know if you identify with it? Well, if you're offended or hurt by it, then it means that you identify with it. If I called you a purple cloud, you would not think about that before you went to bed at night. It would not keep you up. You would not cry or feel offended. You might even laugh at such a silly name. A purple cloud? How silly. But if I called you a dumbass, you might get upset. Somewhere within you, you think you are dumb and unworthy. Which is understandable because a lot of the religions in the West, they teach you to feel unworthy. And there's a lot of people around you that make themselves feel better by making you feel dumb. Somewhere within you there is a child that was called a similar name, and whenever they went to get justice or reassurance from their parents, the dismissive parents said, "Get over it and stop being such a tattletale." That child never got over it. That child is literally still inside of you, and you'll realize that whenever you start to meditate and acknowledge this child. That child feels offended whenever you're being called a dumbass. You were never properly taught how to deal with that situation. You need to spend time with that child and tell that child what it needed to hear. Heal the wound rather than just putting a band-aid over it for society to rip off. Go back and address all the band-aids. Who has been ripping off your band-aids? Where are your band-aids at? How do we heal all the places where we've been offended or hurt? Don't let society get a nail underneath that band-aid to pull off. Love that child so much so that when someone calls you a dumbass, you laugh at it the same way as if they called you a purple cloud. Hey now, you're being really unfair calling me that. I can see that you're upset. Let's leave the name calling at the door and let's just talk. When you are healed, the world doesn't revolve around you. You can turn the other cheek and look at the bigger picture. So what I was saying was something that you could possibly say to someone. Like when you're wounded, the world revolves around you. You're grasping for things to help you heal. So when someone calls you a dumbass, you're in pain and you're focusing on your injury. You're unable to look at that person and see, actually the reason why they said that was because they're upset. Quit looking at yourself and how to heal yourself. If you already were healed, then when someone calls you a dumbass or whatever, it bounces off of you basically, and then you acknowledge, whoa, what's wrong with this person? Why are they calling me this, And then you don't have to be patronizing about it. You teach people how to treat you, and you teach people how to treat others. Hey, let's leave the name calling at the door and let's see what's wrong, And you'd be surprised how it does teach others how to act. Because the only reason why they called you that is because it is a reflection of themselves. It is because other people have called them that. It is because there was never justice done towards them or they got away with calling people that. That's all them. That's their character. You don't have to identify with that. And no, I personally haven't been called a dumbass lately. I just know that that's a really popular thing to call people, that people just kind of throw it around a lot. And it definitely depends on who says it. You know, you may not be offended by your friend calling you a dumbass, but if your coworker calls you a dumbass, even though they're kind of friends with you, kind of not, you get this feeling of maybe they really mean it. And so what if they mean it? It should be like as if they called you a purple cloud. So what if they really, really meant it? That's a reflection of themselves. If you're healed, then that means nothing to you. Get rid of the band-aids, try to stay as lucid as possible, and love you.